Mic check, man. One Master Podcast host, man, of course. Got a special guest across from me, Miss Karen Gordon. I had to start over just so I could turn the lights on. I wanted to have an artsy vibe, jazzy vibe, you know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it. That's
It's one of my favorite people in Augusta. I don't think it's anything I've ever asked you about or for, and you couldn't come deliver. Like, you like the plug for every single thing in the city. Like, everything.
That's awesome. That's what comes with being a woman of a certain age. Once you get to be my age, you gotta know things. You gotta know stuff. Thank you for that, though.
Nah, definitely. It's funny. I was in the barbershop the other day and I was getting my hair cut, and I brought you up because somebody said he wanted something, and I was just like, "Hey, you gotta call Karen Gordon." And he was like, "Oh, Karen, I went to school with her." I was like, "Oh my god." My barber Antoine. He was like, "I went to school with her." I said, "Oh, okay."
I'm telling you, it's just the age thing.
How you been?
I've been good. Thank you.
This is not something I had on the notes, but I want to ask you this first before we get into it, just so we kind of get comfortable and just get cozy and everything like that. Lights already off, right? Mm-hmm. What was the feedback you got from the last podcast we did? Because I got great feedback from that.
Oh, the last one. Oh, I got some good feedback on usually. So I don't usually watch. I don't like to see myself on camera, and I think for that one, it was really raw for me. So right. just kind of digging into emotions and stuff like that. So, but I think it was something that I felt, I guess, that I needed to say. So, right. So I've heard positive feedback, but I haven't really asked. I've got to be honest. I haven't really asked people, what did you think about that?
I've gotten some feedback on, like, obviously we made some Davidson jokes. So people were like, "Hey, why you talking about Davidson?" Something like that. But other than that, it was like a lot of the artists love what you said because you are a pro artist, above anything else, and they agreed with that. I felt that. They had the same sentiment as you as far as like, hey, I know sports is cool, but like what we do is cool as well.
Yeah. Oh, by all means. I feel like my personal feeling is that piano players rule the universe. I do believe that is a fact. It is not fake news or anything like that. But yeah, I really do feel like arts and culture are the things that people will remember for not just for decades, but for like centuries.
Right.
So you think about, I mean, and of course I'm biased, but and I'm not an athlete, but I just feel like those are the kinds of statements that you make in art, the kind of things that you create, really define they define the culture, they define where you are in community and society, but they are also things that just kind of ways that you keep records. It's like a way of record keeping, of understand. You look back and see where we were at that time.
That's funny you say that because I've had plenty of podcasts before I knew you and all that stuff, and I would say this. I said music to me, and I always say music. I know we talk art, but I always say music because I'm not an artsy person. I guess I don't know to use that word, but we could say art too. I always say like it really serves as a timestamp, because a lot of times a song could bring a feeling back that you felt at that time.
Very much so.
I hate to be that person to make a joke, but I hate the Beyonce song "Check Up On It" with Slim Thug because I was in a car accident when that song came on, and real? Every time I hear that song, my knees just hurt, and I get scared. I hate it, but I love Beyonce to death. But that one song, I just like, oh no, I'm good.
Yeah, music and art. They're so important in that way, and I'm glad we're talking about this because I was earlier today. I was doing some work outside, and I was I jumped in this clubhouse room, right? So that's what I like to listen to, whatever. In this particular room, they were talking about the whole Travis Scott thing. Now, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Travis Scott, but they were talking about the Astro World thing and about how the musician, about how he is responsible for those people that were injured or killed or whatever. And they were just talking about his music, about how dark his music is or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any frame of reference for it. But, apparently some folks who were in that space had an agenda. There were some folks who were coming from a religious perspective and talking about how music is this and secular music and what, blah, 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 whatever. But those folks had very definite opinions, like Alderman Davis from Good Times, very definite opinions about what this music is saying about society right now, and that may be the case, but all music is placed in the proper context. Contemporary music, it is what it is. When you talk about music and art that stands the test of time, those are the kinds of things that are like harbingers or marks of where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the stuff that stands the test of time. The thing that's like crazy. I love to think about this with music and art because I'm in it right now, right? But if you study music in academic settings and whatnot, you study huge spans of time. 150 years, you got this, Baroque period, right? People who were living during that time, they didn't say it was what it was. It was just music. It was just popular music. Like
right.
when jazz. There are folks who say that jazz, the purest of jazz period ended in 59, like, when things started to shift. We're people who were making music then are still living now. So I'm really curious, even though I won't even be around to see it, but like 100 years from now, what will this era be called? What will this era of art, of creativity be called? And how will it fit into the overall history of the universe? I'm really curious to see, what kind of statement our lives and our art will make in the overall scheme of things.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm tempted to say COVID-19, but I'm not sure. Because obviously we got the time before COVID too, so I don't know. But I don't know if it was leading up to COVID. I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder what it would be called, and what people believe that, because we went so long with like a lot of things we're doing now with COVID. I feel like we could have kind of been doing. Like it'd have been smarter to have a mask on, like so you don't get sick. Like you ever got sick and didn't know where you got it from?
Right.
Like you could have got sick by
right.
touching a cash register or touching somebody's money and touching your face.
Right. Exactly.
We could have had sanitizer that much, like all our lives. Like
right. Exactly.
we could have been doing this stuff all our lives.
Exactly. That's really and then to see how, not just how the way that we create and manufacture the art changes with world events. It's just really interesting to see. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm just really curious to see what this. I hope that those who come after me and after us can really appreciate what it is that we're doing. I don't know. I don't know if that'll be the case.
Well, I feel like art is one of them things that it needs to be appreciated. But I feel like people only appreciate that understand it a lot of times too. Like when you understand it, you appreciate it more. Mm-hmm. And if it does something for you, you got some people that live and don't like. They're really like sheltered from art, or they get a controlled version of art.
Yeah.
So the idea of art is like gospel. I told the guy like you listen to gospel. He was like, yeah, I ain't going to no black church. Y'all be screaming too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like. Nah, but obviously it's different praises. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you in a control environment. So y'all be calm. He said, yeah, be calm. And we get it on time.
Yeah.
I said, oh, that's not art.
Yeah, right.
That's business as usual. That sounds like 9 to 5 to me.
Right. Exactly. You know? Exactly.
But when you run across these people, you realize that like that's the beauty of meeting people and actually talking and communicating and being diverse. Because like I would have never guessed that he felt that way. But as we talk, I'm like, okay. You think all black people are like this for one, but through art, I can tell like you live in a controlled environment. You only saw this, you only know this. That's it.
Yeah.
But so your idea of art is kind of like it's toy with really, because you can't get a true idea of art because
you've
been controlled all your life.
Yeah.
This is what you listen
sheltered
to.
from it, and then, But you know what? I saw something on social media on, I think it was actually Twitter, and I don't really fool with Twitter like that. But because I'm doing the newspaper now, I have to pay attention to things, and it was just it was actually a meme where someone had stated that the great artists of the 1800s were white men, right? And I think the response to that, and white men, like, Bach, the year's probably not right. Bach, Beethoven, all those people, right? Those were the great artists. And the response to that was, no, white men were making art for other white men. And so that's the standard of greatness. That's the only thing you used to, if the only people that you are surrounding yourself with are people who are just like you, whether you white, black, Puerto Rican, whatever. If the only art that you're seeing, the only music that you're hearing is in this little box, and that's fucking brilliant to you. That's
I
it.
know, right? Yeah, yeah.
And then you continue, and then, oh my gosh, and then your people are like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And you continue to make more of that. And then the people in your audience are saying, this is great shit. And that's it. If you don't go outside of that at all, then yeah, it is. But you don't see anything. You're just right here.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're in a box at that point too.
Right.
And it's honestly, sometimes it's hard to have conversations with people about art who don't have a broad knowledge of art or
Right.
a broad listening ear. You know, like if I wanted to talk just rap with somebody, I'm okay with that person only know rap. I mean, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
But if I want to talk about just black music with somebody, you can't just only know rap because that's not just black music. You know,
Right.
like
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. That's like with rap. You know, you got a lot of white people that would say like Eminem is the best of all time.
Right.
But clearly that's all I listen to. They don't listen to nobody else. It's just Eminem, you know?
Right,
And I get a lot of
exactly.
flack for that because I have a lot of Eminem jokes. But when it comes down to it, you know, I need you to give me the same amount of detail on Eminem, on Jay-Z, or on Tupac, or on Rakim.
Yeah.
You know, Rob Bass.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me somebody,
Yeah.
and then I can respect it. But yeah, when you got that small
Right.
entity,
And that is all that is all that is being taught in the schools, in the public schools. I was a music major in college, and I posted this to my Facebook a few weeks ago because there's like national, that's my mama calling, national band books week or something like that, and so I was like, well, I put this picture of this book, this textbook that we had in college, by Grout, The History of Western Music, and in that book was like this thick, and it was probably in that whole book, History of Western Music, it's like 2 black people in the whole book. I'm like, so that's what we're doing. I was like, are we gonna continue to do that? I understand who wrote the book,
Right,
that kind of thing. I understand who writes the textbooks in school and all that kind of stuff. But even now, are we still using that book and saying that this is where music started with these people right here? No, it didn't. No.
Now, I definitely agree with that. And I feel like, too, in them times, a lot of times, you know, music did come from, I'm going to say other people, and other people took that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they took everything else. But that's a whole different, you know, kind of conversation. But yeah, I agree with you on there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what you get when you talk about art. You kind of got to dig deep and, you know, go in it. So I want to ask you about like art on a local level. Like, what's your opinion, or how do you feel about the local level, like the state of art, whether it's music or just art in general in the city?
I think we have a wonderful. We've got lots of wonderful artists and creatives in this area. I think we need to be more intentional about acknowledging them and celebrating them and hiring them and paying them. I need to write that down.
Yeah,
Ooh,
matter of fact, because
Jesus.
you just said something, then hiring and paying. Tell them, don't do one without the other, okay?
Right. Exactly.
Because I see they're getting hired, but are they getting paid is the question.
Right, exactly, and I'm saying that because I need to do, I don't say anything to anybody else that I'm not that I don't say to myself,
Right.
that I don't challenge myself to do. So I'm working on that. I think last time, no, I think it was when Kig and I were here, we were talking about the market and all the other wonderful things. We were talking about money, about paying people, and
Nothing's changed since then.
well, yeah, true.
Nothing's
changed. I still, but actually, let me see. That was during COVID, I think. I don't know. Time is a mystery right now.
Yeah, we don't have a name for the time right now. That's probably why.
Right, exactly.
Everything's mysterious.
But I still, I think I said then, I will. You'd ask me something about a reasonable price. That's what it was. Because we had a conversation.
I was trying to ask you what's a
what's a reasonable price. So for me, and I think I kind of took myself out of the whole pricing thing. What's a reasonable price? Because I feel like to be honest with you, I feel like I bring a different set of skills, a special set of skills to the table. So I don't expect people to pay me like they pay everybody else, right? That sounds crazy, right?
Not really, but I think how you worded it was very, very well. You worded it backwards, so I like that.
Okay. So I have a special set of skills. So I can do a gig for less money. I'll take less money for a gig, but I'm gonna get paid in other ways, right? So
put them on game. Like what you mean other ways? Like,
okay, so I'm either going to let's say if I get a call, hey, can you do this thing? Somebody I got a call to do a thing in a couple of weeks that I'm not going to do. But if I was gonna do it, it's because it's a political thing. I don't want to do that. But if I were to do that, let's say I'd ask all sorts of questions. Okay, what's the time? Where is it at? What's it for? How many people? How long is the gig? How difficult? All that kind of stuff. And I always ask the question whether they want me to play or they want somebody else to play. I say to perform. I ask them, how do you want this event to feel? What do you want your people to come away from this gig with, right? You just want background music, that's fine. You want people to be entertained, that's fine. But those are those are different conversations.
Different prices?
Could be.
Okay.
Could be. But when I have that conversation with the potential client, then that shifts to we don't talk about money until much later. We don't start off, well, time, date, what's your budget? We spend a little bit of time getting to that point because that lets me know what kind of thought the person has put into this event, whether it's a family event, whether it's a fundraiser, or as a fundraiser, we charge a whole lot more.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we do. They're like, oh, it's a nonprofit, it's a fundraiser. Okay, good. That's 3 times what I was gonna say. Because
what's the idea behind that though? Like is it because it's money somewhere?
Yeah, it's money somewhere.
I like that though. Okay, I like that.
Right, exactly. If it's a fun, and really it depends on who it depends. Everything is fluid, really. But if it's a political, if it's a political fundraiser, it's gonna be a hell of a lot more. If it's a church kind of thing, I have my very definite opinions about church. So they don't get special consideration either. They still get the business as well. So
gotcha.
But there are certain factors where I want to know who all gonna be over there.
Oh, you one of those.
Who all over there?
Who all gonna be there?
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to determine how whether I want to be there or not, right? So whether I'm and if the right people are in the room, then I will take the gig because I want to be in, because I want to talk. There's somebody there I want to talk to.
You want to be in that room with that person, with them people.
Yeah, with them people. The right folks are in the room. I want to be over there, and I will either take the gig and play myself and work it out so I can, have some time to work the room, or I'll take the gig and I'll hire somebody to play so I can work the room the whole time. So whether that means I make a little bit of money or break even or I come out of my pocket, that determines those are the factors that determine what a reasonable price is for me.
Got you.
Yeah. So if I know there's somebody going to be there that I've been meaning to talk to, and I'll be like, okay, hey, fancy meeting you here. How you doing?
and let me ask you, so, and work in the room, is that, I'm just using that quote unquote work in the room, does that equal like the extra money you'll make? Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting paid to be there, you're going to get that money, but also work this room and get this extra money as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I will work out a promotional deal where I don't get paid, but I'm listed as a sponsor. So my logo goes on the posters and everything. And then I will either play. I did this a couple of times at this when Jones Creek was a functioning golf club, but there's this nonprofit that does a golf tournament every year. They would call me to perform, and the first couple of years they didn't pay me anything, but I got my logo on the poster and on all the holes and on all the promotions. So right. Garden City Jazz was everywhere, and then the last couple of times I did it, I did get paid for it, but my information was still out there too. So, and I got a couple more gigs out of it. I actually learned this from Reggie Barner, who is a real estate developer out of Aiken, South Carolina, actually. When I was in the band Quiet Storm, my business partner, band partner, and I, Mike King, we went to have lunch with him. It was probably, and it was before the year 2000. I don't know when it was, but it was a while ago. And we were having a conversation about the challenges of people respecting musicians by paying us properly. And we talked for a while over lunch at Mellow Mushroom. It wasn't a Mellow Mushroom. It was in that building. It was the Bowery or something back then in downtown Aiken. And he said, and I've never forgotten, it was a while ago. He said, you determine what your time is worth. And he said, it's up to you. He said, you make that determination. So if it's worth it to you to do the gig for free, then do the gig for free. It's your time. So I'm like, all right, it's my time. So if it makes sense to me to do it, if it makes sense for me to charge $25 million to do the gig, that's what I'm gonna do. If it makes sense for me to pay somebody, to pay somebody else to be here to play, so I can get in that room and talk to these people, so that I can make $25 more million, then I'm gonna do it. That's the way I look at it. It's my business. It's an investment in myself, in my business, and where I see my business going.
So I know, like with you got the jazz, piano and stuff. Be real quick, piano. Do you get piano lessons at all?
I do not.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so piano lessons and stuff like that. Now I was asking because I seen a post the other day about and this was someone who I think had an event. So I don't know how the event turned out or what, but they had an event It's supposed to be some R&B event. I want to say it's on some at some maybe bar and grill on Gordon Highway, but more so further by Fort Gordon. Can't think of the name of it right now. Been there one time.
Velvet
Nah, it's
or
after.
3D? Oh,
It's
after
after,
Velvet?
it's after Fort Gordon. You know, Fort Gordon that road. You got to keep going.
Okay.
It's I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to be the one to say it. It was a white bar and grill to me.
Okay.
When I went there,
Okay.
and everybody was white in there. But regardless of the fact, I don't think they got the turnout they wanted. And I think when she posted something like, "Why doesn't R&B shows get the support?" I don't know what she was comparing it to because I didn't want to get into it.
Yeah.
But I don't think she understood that a lot of shows not really getting that kind of support.
Right.
So I don't know what she
Yeah.
want. But you, somebody, I don't necessarily see you doing bar and grills like that. I see you doing downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, you be the money at. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something they have to take from it. But like, what advice could you give somebody who are maybe a rapper, maybe they doing more urban art or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's some good places to perform at, like to get some kind of professional kind of turnout show wise. I know everybody do bar and grill because it's easy. They put you on a flyer on some little flyer. They call the person making, and that's it.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I always go to my go-to is always humanitary.
Would that be what would humanitary be considered? Would it be considered like more like a lounging type area or?
Well, humanitary does. I mean, they're not open at night, so so if you're doing a thing there, then it is because if a thing is happening there at night, it's because somebody is doing a thing there. So it's not. That's probably not an accurate answer, but I don't really know.
Because I always tell my guy, I love you, Jace, aka Juanito. I always tell myself, if you're gonna do shows or trying to get some, I want you to do lounges and I want you to do a bar and grill.
Yeah.
And the reason being, or a club. And the reason being
Yeah.
because you expect a turnout you've seen on YouTube when your favorite rapper goes to a club,
Yeah.
and you ain't them. Not him, but just in general. Like a lounge is you get people attention. Nobody really. It's like they come in to just chill.
I think those terms are kind of interchangeable, because I don't think, at least in this space or in this market, or I mean, things have like shifted up significantly since COVID, and I wasn't really too keen or too aware of what was happening before. I'm definitely like out of the loop now, but I now as far as hip hop, I have no idea. But R&B, I can answer that. Like there's Icons. You can do stuff at Icons.
That's what was that. I'm sorry, but
Oh,
they did have something at that bar and grill, and it turned out good. But they did be at Icons. They did Icons.
Okay.
They got a stage and stuff in there, right?
Yeah,
I've been there
yeah.
before. They got a nice setup at Icons. The setup is nice.
Yeah. So if something happened at Icons and the turnout wasn't great, I think it's because so Icons has their crowd, right? They have their regulars.
Right.
But if it was a show, if it was a band that was performing, then the whoever the band was doesn't yet have a following. So it's going to take some time. The folks who are killing at Icons right now, like Trey Sounds and I guess ATL Dream Vision and a couple others. I shouldn't start naming because I'm leaving people
wild,
out. And
Phase
Phase 360 and a couple others like that. They have been consistently putting in work and doing shows and all that kind of stuff for a couple of years now. And they were really doing well even before COVID. So coming back afterward, they've got a following. They've been working. So and it takes time. So like when Trey Sounds and them when they started, they didn't have that. They would do the same thing. They would have the same kind of reaction. They do a thing and 3 people show up. But you can't stop just because 3 people show up. You do it again and then then 12 people show up. You do it. You just keep doing it. It's just like when anything. It's just like the band thing. The band issue is the same issue that any club or any entity faces when it first starts. You know, when Icons started, when Icons opened. I mean, okay. Yesterday, they had a grand opening for their cigar lounge. Right?
I seen that. Yeah.
So right now, it's the new flavor of the month. Right? It's going to be it's the only Black-owned cigar lounge in town. So that's awesome. So everybody starts out with, rah rah rah, this is wonderful. Then they're gonna experience a lull once it's not new and shiny anymore. Then they still got to put in that work. They got to be consistent. Right. Same thing with musicians. Same thing with artists. Same thing with any kind of business. And you still got to put in that work whether people come or not.
Well, I want to shift gears on that part real quick. I know I spoke to you earlier. So when the first time I ever heard of you, it was from Libra, of course. I remember her speaking about you and saying, if you want something done downtown, you got to go to Karen Garden. If you want something done down, you got to go to Karen Garden. Like, she would get you into any of it. Like, she really, like, out of everything she said, I just remember that one part. I don't know why. I just remember that one part. I didn't know who you was. I'm not going to lie. I thought you were white when she said that, be honest with you.
Oh,
I only be saying that because...
It's because the name was Karen, wasn't it?
That's the thing. That's the thing. But Karen wasn't a thing at the time.
Right, that's true.
But I guess you was Karen before Karen was Karen.
I was Karen before Karen was a thing.
And but maybe because Libra, I heard downtown and I heard it can get you anything. I'm like, okay, I ain't think you would have the skin color you had. I just didn't think that. But now I know, right? Mm-hmm. So when you talk about downtown, I was recently downtown sometime this week. I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday, one of them days I was downtown, walking around downtown, and it's beautiful down there. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. What are some things like to do downtown? And I'm asking you this because, if somebody asks me, I'm a born person, so I'll do the same things all the time. And my favorite thing to do is really just drive from Columbia County to all the way down and drive to Josie. And I say, damn, you know what? Things have gotten changed. It looks worse as I drive down. And that's my favorite thing to do. I like to just drive from Target over there in Columbia County, and then just drive down. And when I get to the stadium, and I see all them houses like the Wire.
Oh,
it really pisses. What's the name of that place? I can't even think of the neighborhood, but the neighborhood over there, Lake Olmsted. When I get down there, and I'm driving down, and I see all these boarded up houses, and everybody just on the stoops. I'm like, okay. This is the Augusta I know.
You somebody taking Washington Road way down?
Yeah, I like the tour. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tour person, but but downtown is beautiful. Yeah. So like, and I mean, from my understanding, you like what Diddy is to New York, you is to downtown. That's what they tell me.
Oh man, I used to be that person for a minute. I was like, all downtown every day, all day. A friend of mine told me once, he was like, because I don't do sports, he's like, but if you had a football team, your team would be Broad Street. So, because for the longest time, this is actually when I was living in Aiken, downtown Broad Street in the central business district of downtown Augusta was like the center of my universe. I would like do some crazy shit like just be here, be there all the time. I would take the boy to school and drive downtown and hang out at Sit a Spell Coffee House, and I'd be there all day, every day. And we would sit around, drink coffee. I would bring my wine in sometimes, and we'd talk about what we saw. What downtown could be if it was at its full potential.
And what could it be in your opinion? What is it now? And then tell me what it could be.
Downtown is still
It's in progress or something?
Downtown is, and I hate to say, I want to say downtown is almost there, but as long as I've been hanging out downtown, when I was hanging out downtown on a regular basis, like I said every day, that is what the the messaging was back then. And let's see, this was right after Scooter was born. Scooter is 12 now. So for 12 years, and this is the 12 years that I've been aware of it. For 12 years,
So around what, 2009? I'm assuming?
2009.
2009. So since 2009, it's been almost there.
It's been almost
and
there.
it's 2021. It's almost there.
It's been
2009. Let me see. 2009.
just that close.
Oh, 2009. Okay, so around the time T-Pain had, "Oh, you can't believe it." She all on me. I'm trying to put it to music. So around that time, downtown was almost there.
Downtown was almost there.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think now downtown is growing. And I think though, if you maybe it's because I'm too close to it, so I can't really see the growth. I can acknowledge. So like 2009. That was before the Whites building. That was when the Whites building was just becoming a thing.
The what building?
The Whites building, JB White's building.
Never heard of it. Who's that?
It's 936
building?
Broad. No, it's the
okay.
JB. It used to be the JB White's department store. Is that before? Is that like entirely before your time? I think it might be.
I'm not even really from
You're
here,
not
so
from
I don't
here.
know like what that
Okay.
means. Who's JB?
So,
I'm assuming not James Brown.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. But that's it. That building is in the 900 block. It is, yeah. But that was one of the commercial developments. That was going to be one of the things that was going to propel downtown into really taking off. Those condos in that building. And then I'm trying to think of some other things that have come about. You know, the Common was there. The Augusta Common was already there. James Brown statue was already there. So businesses have been kind of coming in and going out, opening and closing.
That, yeah. I used to like go to Kay's Wings down there, and now it's not there no more.
Yeah. So,
why is that though? Like, if downtown is supposed to be this thing, why aren't business thriving being downtown?
you know,
I know the rent is high.
The rent is high, and the challenge is the challenge with downtown is actually the same challenge, a similar challenge that we have in South Augusta actually, and that is we've been dragging our feet when it comes to really pushing and spurring development. So that's happening downtown with laws and ordinances allowing people who own property to not have to abide by new laws because they're being grandfathered into these clauses.
What about, not to cut you, I'm sorry, what about like, I'm thinking about what I saw when I was down. So what about like a lot of buildings that aren't anything? There aren't no businesses there. It's like nothing.
Right.
So like they don't
Right.
think about discounting or like, I don't know. Like I feel like it could be something. 'Cause it's a lot of vacant property. That I don't know if it's vacant. You just can't go in there, You can't go in there. You can't go in there. I almost cursed. You can't go in there. You know. So
That's
I don't know if it's vacant or
No,
not.
it's vacant. Well, some of them are vacant. Some of them are, a lot of them are vacant, but some of them don't have anything in them. First of all, they're all owned by somebody. They're
Right.
owners for all these, and not all those owners. Most of those owners of the vacant properties are not absentee landlords. They live right here. You got the whole.
So they're just hogging up space
600
downtown.
Yeah, you got the one side of the entire 600 and damn near half of the 700 block of Broad that is just storage for stagecoaches.
So technically speaking, we 9. So like maybe 8 minutes we've been talking about what downtown could be or is, and it's really nothing right now. We don't have not saying it's nothing like in a bad way, but it's nothing of what it could be.
It is
What it is right now is
if the decisions that are being made right now, and the business deals that are being made currently have been made, they should have been made 10 years ago. And downtown is growing. I want to say this before I get to down in the dumps about that. There are new businesses that have opened since the pandemic, but it's not enough.
What? I'm not putting it on blast, but
Yeah.
I know that now I know a little more that I'm older that certain people are over certain areas. So, what commissioner will be over downtown?
Downtown?
Yeah, or is it not a commissioner for that?
There are two. So there's
Or they have two commissioners downtown, not just one.
yes. So let me tell you. So the way that the county is divided, there are 10 commissioners, right? But there are 8 commission districts, right? And then there are 2 super districts. So you got 1 through 8, and then districts 9 and then 10 have 4 districts each.
Okay.
So downtown is District 1. So that's Jordan Johnson, and then the super district is Francine Scott. So Jordan and Scott are in charge of downtown.
Okay.
That includes Laney Walker. District 1 stretches to include parts of Apple Valley. I had to put Apple Valley in there, of course.
Yeah, you love you some Valley.
I love some Apple Valley.
I definitely would like to talk to both of them if possible. I don't know if Jordan Johnson want to talk, but I definitely would talk to both of them. I don't have the answers. I just got questions I want to know about downtown.
Yeah.
And obviously before his time, because he's my age, so.
Oh yeah,
10 years ago, when you said it was in progress or not complete, I'm gonna just say not complete. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. I guess now I'm kind of thinking about music, and you said about the time frame and stuff like that. People say that Drake has one of the greatest runs of all time.
Okay.
That started his run.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess technically speaking, he's still at the highest level. So I guess it's okay right now.
Yeah.
But if they let another artist come in and have a run, and they don't have downtown fixed, that's kind of wild.
Oh, yeah?
That would be like almost over a decade at that point. So
yeah, but you know the cool thing about Jordan is and Miss Francine too, is they will come on. They'll come and they'll talk. They're super accessible, and that's different from what downtown has had in the past.
Yeah, I spoke to Jordan Johnson a few times. He actually been not on mine, but on Friday nights when I had that. We've talked podcast since, and I've seen him. We talked out in public and stuff. I don't know about Francine Scott. Did I? I don't know if I've seen her, but you introduce me to some people sometimes. I don't know. I don't be knowing everybody. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's like Karen. Yes. Okay. Cool. That's how I met you.
That's cool.
But
yeah.
So we talk about what downtown, all right, is. So what could it be? And you don't have to give me no like crazy, like wild solution, but like what you think it would take to get there. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not trying to like say somebody's doing something wrong, but I mean to have that space. And when I see older pictures of how Augusta used to look back in the days, it's like, well, why wouldn't we want to replicate that? Why wouldn't we want to have something to be proud of? Because if your downtown area is fine, a lot of times your economy is okay.
Yeah,
downtown is everything.
Right. And when I was like really caping for downtown, my that was my Super Bowl team, was Broad Street and all that kind of stuff. The reality is it is true that as your downtown goes, so does your city, so does your community. So if your downtown is trash, then the rest of your county is probably going to be trash too. So, and I hate to say that, but it's just the way that it works. So even though right now I'm all South Augusta all the time, all day, I do understand that downtown is important, and I do see how folks can say, well, every time we get something, it's all downtown. We talking about this property tax, levying this additional tax for the James Brown Arena. We don't even go to the arena. How about we do something about Regency Mall? How about we get the sidewalks inside in South Augusta? I understand
that'd be nice.
that.
A lot of walkers nowadays, so
Yeah.
sidewalks would be nice.
Yeah.
Seems safe to me.
Yeah, yeah. the challenge with that is that it's a lot more difficult than it should be.
Right.
To be honest with you, like
Nothing we're saying is easy. I want to make sure that's clear. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like we're just saying, "Oh, this should be done." I know it's gonna take time. Like that's everything. Because a lot of when you're in politics, a lot of stuff has to happen for you to even be successful at what you're doing half the time. So I understand that it's like everybody's jobs affects everybody. Every decision affects everything, whether it's past, present, or future.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that, but I do want it to be something that can be talked about at least. You know? How you gonna have successful First Fridays when you walking past 6 buildings straight and nothing's in them?
Yeah.
Like you can't. Like the lights is off.
Right.
Like you on a dark street now. And this is downtown. I'm not even trying to be like dissing, but you got people downtown that's homeless sitting down. Like you on a dark street, you might trip over somebody. Like, oh, I didn't even see you there because you got 6 businesses that's all dark.
Right.
You don't want.
And
you don't want to walk down the street now.
Right. Right behind the James Brown statue.
Right there. It's like, hey, this is beautiful, and then you go behind it like, oh, whoa.
And that's not even that. We're not even talking about Ellis Street and Jones Street and the side streets. Those are awful.
Yeah, it's definitely not the safest looking and not the safest feeling place.
Right.
Being down there, but like I said, I know it could be beautiful. So I just wondered that, and I know that your elbows kind of touch those people sometimes that kind of make them decisions. So just nudge them, like, hey,
Yeah, we do, and this is what I actually encourage people to do the same thing, to like to get the information. Like when we were in this in a Black Chamber call yesterday, put a link to, hey, find your commissioner, put your this page on the city website, put your address in there, find out who your commissioners are, get their information, email, cell phone, all of that, and just message them. Just send a message, and the ones who respond. There are some that will respond on a consistent basis. There are some that won't. But they get you.
You gotta hit them up September. You gotta hit them up around election time. That's when they're gonna respond to
you. But then you hit them up like
it's a few, but now it's a few that will respond. Like it's a few that's very active on social. You gotta get lucky. You got a good commission. There's some good ones out there. I will say that Augusta does have a few good ones where like they respond. Yeah, they might hit you up, honestly. You know, so
and I think that's what's particularly different about this particular commission here, is that especially actually I'll speak for the commissioners in South Augusta who cover South Augusta. They're out here. They're having these town meetings. They're having public meetings. They're inviting folks to come out and ask questions, and they take the questions. And like I didn't go. I forgot about the one yesterday. But Commissioner Alvin Mason had one yesterday at Diamond Lakes.
I saw an argument about that on Facebook. It was funny.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Talking about why are you having a thing with so many people?
They were saying that they should have been promoted longer than that because they couldn't make it because they didn't know about it. It was like it should have been promoted longer. Da da da. I don't know. Tripping. I didn't get too deep into it, but it was 2 guys specifically just going back and forth about it, and
Oh yeah.
People not gonna be Once people don't like you, they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't think the person liked him too much anyway. So I think that was what it was.
Oh, they wanted to be there so they could say a little something.
Yeah, they wouldn't be there. They would have been there.
Right. Exactly. Shoot. So, and then Commissioner Bobby Williams had a meeting a few weeks ago. He had the arena folks there. He had someone from the arena presenting the because the election was this past week, so it was talking, go and vote yes, whatever. So this gentleman in the audience, he asked a question, and he challenged those folks on every turn. How much we talking about? How much money? How much is this going to cost? He said, why are you being disingenuous to the people? Why are you not telling the people the truth? He said the news didn't say it cost this much, And the guy from the from the arena, I don't know what his name was. He said, we don't have any control over what the news reports.
Right.
This dude in the back kept asking questions. He was like, "We people on a fixed income, they can't be having their messing with their money and everything." And I was over there like, "Damn!"
You came prepared. You came prepared.
Like, he was, and he had his information together, and the folks who the people, they took the questions, they took the concern, the criticism, all of that. And said, okay, this is what we're dealing with. You got further questions, hang around a little bit after because we need to get on further with the meeting. There was another lady who challenged the commissioner, Bobby Williams. She's like, well, what you going to do about, y'all talking about this arena, what y'all going to do about the streets over here? You've been saying for years that y'all going to fix the streets. What y'all doing? And I was like, damn. But Commissioner, he was like, but you just called my office. He said, I did call your office. I was like, damn.
I called 30 times. You never answered, man.
And she was like, I talked to you. He said, but you didn't talk to me. She said, I did talk to you. So I said all of that just to illustrate that the folks who are in office, in our local office right now, they are accessible for my people in South Augusta, of course. They're accessible. They'll answer your questions, and they'll answer the hard questions too. So just call them. I'm like, bro, what's up with this? Just and it's all. I think for a while though, some of the folks who were in office were not so accessible. I mean, the previous District 1 commissioner, I got his number, but he wouldn't answer my calls. I felt the kind of way about that.
Oh, you wouldn't have plugged to him then, huh?
No, right.
I couldn't have got you. Him through you.
I could have given you his number, but I ain't had no influence. I'm gonna tell you, look, because I was at studio one time because that's where the crew hang out, and I was like, man, I can't get Fenoy on the phone for nothing. I was talking to Leon Maven. He was like, oh, for real? He said, he always answered my call. I was like, whatever, man.
You should tell him, call him right now.
Right, exactly.
Call him right now. Let's see.
Exactly. So it's but there's a new, this whole, the leadership is putting in work.
Well, let me ask you this then. Like, this is more of a general kind of question. Like, do you feel that commissioner-wise, just politic-wise, that Augusta has progressed when you think of people when you think of the people that are holding certain positions to make decisions? Since you Augusta, born and raised, like,
yeah, I think that we're in a good space. Well, yeah, I think we're in a good space because I had a conversation with Ben Hassan several weeks back, just talking about.
He's a commissioner right here.
He's
Pepperidge.
Yeah. So
it's a stop sign that I want him to make. I want him to be a red light there. Somebody had died a couple years back.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it need to be a red light there. When you come out of Faircrest on trying to go to P. Georgia Road, like 5 o'clock, you cannot. You got to go out the other way. You can't go that way. Like, it's almost impossible.
Oh
it's
yeah,
Dollar General there now. We need a red light there. So hopefully you could tag him in this part and he can see that we need a red light there. Like, our traffic it has to be there.
Yeah, that's true.
My friend mom died a couple years ago, and I feel so bad because I feel like that could have been anybody. Because everybody knows just don't go that way. Yeah. But you shouldn't have to not go that way because it's an exit for a reason.
Right. Yeah.
Just want to throw that in there. Thank you for bringing him up.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, sis.
That's my pleasure. But yeah, we were just talking about some general stuff. But he doesn't show up on social media a whole lot, but he's paying attention and he's got some great. He's got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge too. So whenever I have questions about like what's going on, especially coming up to this last election. I talked to him a good bit just to be like get some place the things in context.
I kind of wanted you to talk about, because you have wrote an article.
Uh-huh.
All right, you write a lot of articles, obviously, but
Yeah.
you wrote an article about the James Brown Arena and I believe Regency Mall going hand in hand.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that at
Yes.
all? Okay, cool.
So I wrote that back in, I think, 2015.
Okay.
Because that was a hot topic at the time.
When downtown was in progress.
Yeah.
I got you.
Right, exactly.
I just
How
happened a
many
decade
years
ago.
ago was that? That was 6 years ago.
Hey, it could have been anywhere from now to 2009. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
So what was happening though was it was an election year.
Oh boy.
And
2 words you don't want to hear.
yeah, and the mayor and Mayor Davis was he coming up on? He was coming up for re-election, I think. No, time is a whole different
You gotta
thing.
think music. Think of art.
Yeah,
That's how you gotta
yeah.
find
I
out.
can't think of what was happening musically.
What song you on radio when you're trying to call him to get these answers?
That was actually a Russell Gunn tune, but it wasn't released then. It was it was an older
know.
thing. So, but he was getting ready. He was coming up to re-election. That's what it was. So, and he had proposed that. So the James Brown, the arena financing or a bond or renovation or whatever was coming up. I think it was coming up to the SPLOST.
Yeah, I remember that. I had them shirts.
Say,
They made good undershirts. I'm sorry to say that. That was kind of wild. I had about 6.
I remember you said,
I had like 6 undershirts, man. I'm telling you, every collar shirt had a splasher underneath. Cause it get hot, you gotta wipe your body up, you know.
I remember you said that.
They made some great
Oh
undershirts.
man. But he was talking about, let's move the move the arena to the site of the Regency Mall. And then all hell like broke loose
I remember that.
because people were like, it was so crazy because the downtown folks were like, it needs to stay downtown. And then the South Augusta folks were like, well, why can't we have anything nice in South Augusta? Then there's another group of folks who are like, this is just a publicity stunt. This is just a whatever, a ploy to get reelected.
I can smell that.
We don't, right. We don't even own the Regency Mall. How are we gonna build something on somebody else's property? Well,
this is America.
Right, exactly. And the owners of the Regency Mall are doing the same thing that the owners of these downtown vacant properties are doing. They have it valued. If they've issued a valuation that is ridiculous, if they're going to sell, and they're trying to sell it for like 3, 4, 5 times what it's actually worth. So that was happening, and I wasn't in love with the idea of putting of building something on somebody else's property, but I wasn't in love with the language that people were using to talk about why South Augusta is a bad idea to put the arena there. Why the arena should not go in South Augusta. Now, from a traffic standpoint, that's the intersection of Gordon Highway and Dean's Ridge Roads. It's like smack in the middle of town. So if it were to move there, industry would follow it. People were talking about, oh, nobody's going to drive. Nobody's going to drive to that area to go to the arena. Well, if the goddamn arena is there, I didn't mean to say that.
They ain't gonna that's how you got to get there.
That just kind of slipped out right there. But if that's where it is, that's where you're gonna go. You're gonna go to, if the Phillips Arena is in, I don't even know where the thing is. What is the Braves Arena? Truth, it's in Cobb County, wherever that is.
Something like that. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. If that's where the thing is happening, then that's where you're going to go. So the nature of my article was, is it a good idea? Is it a visionary thing? I don't know. But what I do know is that in addition to having this conversation, we need to be having some other conversations too about streetlights and sidewalks and public safety and public education. We need to talk about all those things. What was happening was that people were so fixated on we don't want no parts of South Augusta. There are folks who were legit on their camera phones driving up and down Dean's Bridge, driving around that corridor saying, look, there's nothing over here. There's a cemetery right here. There's a strip mall. There's a vacant bank property. There's nothing here.
But you know, the funny thing is, if you bring that there, that bank property might not be vacant no more.
It's not going to be vacant.
It's a high possibility that somebody's gonna say, you know what, we should put a bank there now.
Exactly.
But you know what? Now I do want I would like to interview. I have the mayor Hardy on my podcast. He about to be out of office, right? Am I mistaken? Yeah, it's better giving them out, not when they in there still. But I'll let you plug me with that. But I will say this, and I hope you don't say it the wrong way, but that does sound like a re-election statement. And the reason being because for somebody who's not into politics or like that's not gonna go no further, you see that headline, that's it, right? Because I was that person back then. I didn't care about that stuff. Oh, okay, they're gonna move to South Augusta, what's up? So in my mind, they moving it. I never looked at no other articles about whether y'all was arguing, the people saying we ain't own it. I just knew that was said. We should vote for this guy.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And I know it's a lot of people like me that they're not following up on this article. They're not following up on that idea. They're not going to the town city. They're not watching him on the news. They just like, oh, I seen that. And on the front page of the paper.
It was brilliant.
And I seen it on a Wednesday. Never saw it again after that. Time to vote. You know what? This man said he's going to bring James Brown into Regency.
Right.
One for Hardy. And that's how it goes for a lot of people, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a good ploy for that. I don't know how I feel about, I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it.
Like if the I think it could have, if the planets would have lined up the right way, I think it would have been fine if the planets were lined up the right way. And that means if the money was right, if the deal was great, or, however, if the deal was structured properly, then by all means, yes. Because that's good for South Augusta. That was going to be, if it would have happened, hell yeah, that would have been great for South Augusta.
I agree.
Yeah.
But my thing with stuff like that is when you think about the real estate that is here, that is not. So I'm not from here, right? But I remember coming down. I saw the movie The Wood. We gonna make art. This the thing, right?
Yeah.
The Wood. Whenever The Wood came out, I saw The Wood at that movie theater. I remember it. I saw The Wood there. I wasn't living down here yet. I just used to visit. My grandmother down. I used to visit.
Yeah.
So we saw The Wood there. It was like a mall in the movie theater mall, right? If I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not from here. I don't know.
There was a movie theater. There was one in the mall and then one behind the mall too, which was cool. Yeah.
So I saw The Wood there. All right.
Yeah.
And then I moved here, and then like I said, I just the next time, I'm not trying to be. I know I sound like I'm being funny. The next time I was at Regency Mall, remember how we had a conversation off air about people being a man and starting to do things? Yeah. That's what I was doing over there. I couldn't do it at home, so I would just drive over there. I park, sweat it up, and then go home. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I know from it now. I knew it was a place where you could just park and do whatever you wanted to do and go home. Right. But now it's all blocked off.
Yeah.
Then you got I'm thinking about downtown. So I'm thinking about this big place, this big space that's there. It's blocked off. It could be a moneymaker. Mm-hmm. Then you got the downtown, the spots that's just vacant. It's and then I make my tours. I drive through, Lake Olmsted. I'm seeing all these houses that's boarded up. It reminds me of The Wire. It just reminds me of it. Like the exact same strip. And I'm seeing a lot of vacant everywhere.
Yeah.
Downtown, you think the avenues like 9th Grand, all that stuff. All them houses that's just messed up. My grandma lived down there, and her house is it's still there, but it's not there. If that makes sense, no roof.
Yeah.
Why nobody think to fix these houses up? Somebody can live here. It's like a lot of, and this is what the city is to me. So when I drive a lot of stuff, I'm not looking at everything that's beautiful. I be seeing a lot of stuff that's imperfect that could be beautiful. Yeah. And I be wondering what's something what's the plan to further them things. And you're not a commissioner, so I know like you know, you got your own
Yeah.
idea, but I would like to have
I think
people.
some of them there are lots of parts of the city that really need like a lot of attention.
A lot of love.
And so one of the challenges with development, and I didn't know this until very recently, since I've been on the board of the Land Bank Authority, one of the challenges with changing the, I don't want to say the complexion, because that's not really what I mean, with revitalizing a neighborhood is getting ownership of those properties of that land. So, like, for example, I'll use this area off Dean's Bridge as an example. It's not a good example, but it's in South Augusta, so I'll use it. There's an area on Dover Street, Dover and Lyman, which is over by Villa Europa. That housing, that the city is doing some development. Mm-hmm. They're doing some work over there, and you can't see it from the street. You won't see it until you drive down into there, but you'll see that there's some boarded up houses. There's some crazy looking homes over there too. But I noticed this. Actually, I noticed it when Scooter was going to Hillcrest.
Yeah,
and I was playing. We were attending Bell Terrace Church, which is on Golden Camp, also. They shut down the street. They were doing some work on the street, on the Villa Europa Street. So he blocked it off for a while. It was also during that time I used to go to Villa Europa every Tuesday after choir practice for drinks. It was awesome. But they had that whole area blocked off, and I was like, what is going on? But they were repairing the street. They were putting in like cut-ins and, you know, curbs and all that kind of stuff and resurfacing the street. I was like, well, what? Why are they doing that? And that is because housing and community development and the city and their partners are working to develop that area, mm-hmm. but they can't. They can't do it all at once. They can't just like go buy up all the property because they can't just take people's stuff. So, I mean, it's not as simple. People do.
I know. I get what you're saying. It's steps needed to be had. You can't just do it all at one time. It's a step-by-step process to get something like that done.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a matter of making sure that the titles are clear and all that. You know, they got to go through. And because it's a city, it takes so much longer than if it was just a private developer. So there are some parts of the community where the city owns like. Where the city owns like the whole block with the exception of like one or two,
right? And
until they get those one or two, they can't do nothing with. They can't do anything with it. I mean, it won't make sense to do anything with it. So where you go like to a whole neighborhood, and we don't even talk about Hyde Park. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, it's a
thing.
book in itself.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, and I learned about that when I was in school, but. It's just funny. Like when I think about how conversations shift and how we go, you know, like we did all that talk about downtown just based off me asking you, what did it do downtown?
Yeah.
And so just to anybody to answer a question, we got to fix it. That's what. I know it's activities you can do. It's you just bars and grills, all that stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that they feel, especially people that's not from Augusta, they might be from like Waynesboro or Louisville, all that stuff out there, like. They think that downtown is something because their downtown is really nothing, you know. So they think that this is something, but if you're from really somewhere, you know that that's not really what it could be better than that.
It can be better,
but we got to, you know. I think that, and that's cool if you're okay with being okay, you know, like you just have an okay downtown.
Yeah.
But if somebody come from LA or New York, Florida, and they had these real downtowns,
right?
Like, what is this? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and the challenge is like for like the previous commissioner. His priority was not Broad Street. Broad Street was not it wasn't his thing, right? That's my opinion.
I just wonder if Broad Street is your priority. Like, I feel like you'd be successful because if you make that successful, like you kind of kill a lot of problems.
Yeah,
Bring a lot
I
of
think
revenue
so.
in.
I believe so because even if you don't, because like we talk about development follows like rooftops. If you got people living in an area, if you got a certain population density, you got people who gonna be there. And then you can have like a whole conversation about a grocery store is about where people live, and really the income level. That's a
True.
that's a thing
True.
too. So what's crazy interesting is that on the economic empowerment call on Friday, there was a woman on there from the census, and she was going through how you can look up all the census data and find out where people live, who the demographics, what kind of money
Average
they make,
income.
all that stuff. And I was like fascinated with it. So I was supposed to be working on something else yesterday, but I was like click, 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 and just trying to find this information because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what percentage of Richmond County residents are renters as opposed to owners,
Right.
just for my own personal knowledge, and so that I could make a point when I'm talking to somebody else about something. So that's another story entirely.
Well, let me ask you, like when you because you got a lot of knowledge and a lot of these stuff. You in your rooms with the people. But you now, I know this is a different year for you. But you being like head of a publication, not the head, but having a big decision making a part of a publication. How do you teeter that? Like, as far as like, did you ever like be in a meeting or be in them rooms and you want to go write about it? Like, I got something for them. I'm gonna write about it. Or like, do you kind of like play that role of trying to be neutral and give neutral opinions, even though it's an urban publication?
Yeah, that's a great question. I tend to be neutral about it because I'm still figuring out the newspaper part of my existence, I guess. Like, and so, and also because we print every 2 weeks as opposed to more frequently. So we don't really do. On the one hand, we don't do breaking news. We don't like break any stories or
It's almost
anything
hard
like
to do that
that.
when you gotta get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, but we do have, we've got a social media presence, so we could.
Yeah, all you gotta do put a post,
yeah.
hit send. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the breaking news right there.
Right. Exactly.
You post one of your witty 500 word piece where 425 words is jokes, and the last 75 just give you a good gut punch.
Exactly.
Sign Karen.
Right. So we so that's something I'm working on. I have a friend who sent me some information. She was working on a project, and she said, I want to get it in the paper. I want you to print it. I want you to publish it. And it was like really, really, really good, great information. But I asked her to make sure that she wanted me to print it because it was something that was gonna like blow the lid off some craziness. And I was like, "You sure?" I said, "Now don't do this for me,
or do it for you.
Do it for you because it's not gonna blow up on me. It's gonna come back to you." So I'm still figuring that part out. I'm not really a writer. I mean, be writing.
You are, but not for that. You're not
yeah,
writing for that.
yeah. I'm not a journalist, but
I guess, do you feel like since it's an urban publication, do you ever feel the need to do so because of who you are and where you stand on a lot of issues, a lot of things we face or encounter within the city?
Yeah, I do.
So is it an itch to like want to do it and just not?
Yeah, you would be. I mean, one would be, maybe you wouldn't be surprised. You'd be surprised like how many things I post, and also part of it is because this is social media, but I spend a lot of time on Facebook, and so whenever I have a thought or a brilliant idea, I tend to go and write about it, post it on Facebook. But I just post it to only me so I can go back and look at it. And also, I mean, I have like all the time, like 3, 4, 5, 12 times a day. I'm posting something.
That's really therapeutic. It was always good to post something and only you see it because sometimes you'll post something in about 3, maybe 5, 10 minutes. You be like, I shouldn't have posted that.
Yeah.
So you post it yourself. You still get that time to make a decision whether you want people to see it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I do that like when I'm sending a carefully worded email. I'll sleep on it and I'll just let it sit and marinate overnight before, and I'll send it like
That's
the
just
next
best
morning.
practice.
Yeah.
That only come from years of just sending shots you shouldn't have sent.
Right.
Like, oh man, I can't take that shot back, man. They left the gun already. You didn't
Exactly.
deserve that one.
Exactly. I was cleaning up one of my on my Medium blog page, and was looking. I was like in 2018. I was like on some other.
You
stuff.
never know how aggressive you are until you look back and like, you know what? And you have to think like, you know when you're too aggressive and you're like, why did I say this that day? Like when you don't know why, I feel like that's a good telling. Like, you know what? It was no need for you to be that aggressive.
Yeah.
If you know why, then maybe it's warranted. But if you don't know why, it's like, it wasn't that deep. It couldn't have been that deep.
And some of that stuff, I was like, I don't know, but it was in 2018. I think during that time, I was trying to take, and also part of the reason why I don't post the things on Facebook is because I'm trying to move my content to my own space. And so that Facebook is not my automatic go-to, even though it's hella convenient. So back in 2018, it was November of 2018, because I was like, damn, what was going on? Because I was talking about, something about, taxpayers, and we want to know what you do in our damn money. And I was
definitely like, election based.
Yeah.
That was a shot at a commissioner, somebody in the office.
That's what it was.
You probably called that guy, he answered the phone or something.
Right,
like
exactly. Exactly. That's what it was. And it was an election year. It was in November. So there was a lot of stuff going on that year. I have to go back.
Sometimes the more you know, it can be stressful. Cause I think when you don't know a lot about election stuff and you're not into it, it's a less stressful time period for you. But when you know a lot, you start to see, and you're like, come on now. Like, you have been following you for 4 years. You ain't said nothing like this.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, you're just about to pop up and change the world.
Right. Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely tough.
I mean, like, your favorite person, Kamala Harris.
Oh, my God. Please don't get me started. I've never bought another pair of Chucks in my life. I don't want pearls. Don't give me no pearls either. I don't want Chucks on no pearls. Man.
I did see somebody. It was like she's just silent. I ain't see her.
People
nowhere.
commented and I guess that was their attempt to show me some things that was done, and I guess I should have been more specific, because when I ask what somebody's done, I'm solely talking about for my people,
right?
And me. I'm not talking about nobody else. And I say nobody else.
Right.
I'm not talking about Indians. I ain't talking about Mexicans.
Right.
Maybe them. Okay, I might take a Mexican, but I ain't talking
Yeah.
about none of it. I'm talking about strictly for my people that y'all asked to vote for.
Right.
When
Exactly.
you wore them Chuck Taylors and them pearls.
Right.
It was
Exactly.
for black little girls, remember?
Right.
So what have you done for black little girls? That's what I want to know.
right.
I got 2 daughters. I want to know that.
Yeah.
And I'm not dissing her. Like I said, I don't care for her, obviously, but if she
Yeah.
could prove something, that's fine. She just ain't shown me nothing yet, and I haven't been wrong about her yet.
Right.
I hope to be, but
Yeah.
I like to be wrong about she's a black woman at the end of the day, so they say. So I want her to do right, but Jesus Christ, it's so hard. That was a tough day at the voting poll, because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh, now we here. Now we here. What do I do? But yeah, I don't know.
Man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I guess let me get my little stuff. I know it's something you wanted to bring up, a festival, but I seen you post something about singing telegrams, and I want to ask about that because I know I like to pre-plan, and there's a lot of stuff coming up. You got Valentine's Day coming up soon. Like how I work, I have to think ahead of time, because if you don't, you behind.
Yeah.
Christmas coming up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So somebody could hit you up and say, hey, Miss Gordon, Karen, a plug, you know what I'm saying, the greatest in the world. Can you go sing Let It Snow to my lovely lady over here at work or something like that, like Brian McKnight did on Martin?
Right. I remember that. Okay.
I know a little something, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to timestamp things. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah, so, man, around 2014, that was a while ago. I think it was then that I started to offer singing telegrams. I think I probably got a call. I got a call from someone who asked if we do that. And my answer was always, sure, yeah, okay. So, so we set everything up, and then at that point, I was like, well, that's something we could do. I created a post on my Garden City Jazz page that says, hey, a press release, hey, we're doing singing telegrams now. So, so that was then, and then fast forward to, and we got maybe 2 or 3 a year. So it was just something. But I posted that a couple of days ago because I got a call. I got a call earlier this week, last week, whatever day this is. A few days ago, somebody wanted a singing telegram, and they called me. Usually they don't call me anymore because I don't really do them anymore. So a couple of years back, whenever I would get the call, I would just call Kig. Mm-hmm. Say, Kig, can you do this thing for me?
So I'm sorry, I gotta stop you real quick. So what, do you not sing anymore or something?
I do sing.
Okay, because sometimes you always say, "Oh, this person do, this person do." Like, when the last time you sung? I don't think I ever seen you sing.
You know, I did a few weeks ago.
Are you strictly down to work in a room now or something? Like, are you?
I be trying to work.
Yeah, you trying to resource out and get the other bag.
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, cool. Kid, come on. I gotta work the room.
Yeah, exactly. So several years ago, I just started calling him for him. So whenever the phone would ring, I'd be like, hey, you know, and it's always, you know, do you want a man or a woman, male or female, to come do the song? So when I was booking them, I would call this person, that person, whomever. But once I started calling Kig to do them, I was like, hey, you can just take the whole thing. And so he actually built a website and put the form on there. So Augusta Singing Telegram is his business. So he's been getting the calls, and he's been hiring people. He goes and he does all the things. Shout out to Kid
for outsourcing you real quick. He made his own business. He said, hey, I like a good idea, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that since you keep calling me anyway.
Right, exactly. So he set that whole thing up, and it was surprising that they called because I haven't gotten calls for Singing Telegram in years. So the lady called, and she was like, I need to get it done like immediately because my husband's birthday was yesterday and I didn't get anything for him. Oh, man. So I sent a message out, and so she was like, what do we get, right? So I said, a song, or 1 or 2 songs of your choice, and and balloons, right? Lady, come near, whatever. So I sent a message out because she was like, I want this done like immediately. ASAP. Right. So I was like, okay, cool. I called this chick, and she's like, well, I just finished doing a singing telegram. I can come now. I was like, okay. So I called the lady back. She's like, I'm in Walmart. I can't do it right now. I had told her how much it was going to cost. So she said, okay. So anyway, she didn't call me back, right? And so I called the singer lady and was like, so it's a wash or whatever. But so I just put that up there just because.
So how much is it though for that?
I charge $200.
Oh wow, okay, that's for you though. That's if you're getting you to sing, not you outsourcing it. It's just
I outsource that $200.
Oh, okay. So you may not even show up. It's just $200. A voice will be there, but it just might not be you.
It's not gonna be me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's not gonna be me.
And so $200, you just get balloons and one song.
2 songs.
2 songs. Okay. I should
balloons,
know how to sing when I was younger.
Maybe flowers or something like that. Actually, what did I tell her? I think I told her 175. I didn't tell her 200 because she was like, I need to get this done. I said, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. So, but yeah.
Oh, so you did tell her the price.
I told her one.
That's probably why I didn't get the call back.
I told her 175.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. And she said,
got you.
Right, exactly. So then she was like, she's like, so what else did she do? She put on a costume or something? I was like, no. She's like, what's she gonna wear?
Yeah,
a costume. Right? I said she gonna wear clothes. She's gonna put clothes.
She gonna want to dance and strip for 175. She like, hey, what else going on?
Right. She was like, what? I mean, I don't know how to answer that question other than she just gonna wear clothes.
That's funny.
I know I'm not very easy to get along with sometimes, but I'd be like, "What you?" But I'm like, "What you expect her to do?" Like,
I know that some of the people that watching probably that are pro downtown probably like whatever, but at this point like you got some events lined up other than I want to speak about this week. We'll just save that for when next time. But talk about that real quick because you said something about a festival that you got.
yes. So on Saturday, November 20th, we are going to host the inaugural Laney Walker Bethlehem Heritage Festival. It is a combination. Well, yeah, it's a combination multifamily reunion, music and arts festival, and harvest celebration. So, it's going to be at Dias Park. And the purpose of that is to celebrate all of the history and the culture, the Black excellence that is the Laney Walker Bethlehem area.
Right.
We are working on a quick turnaround on this because we had to run it through the commission to get approval to do this, and so. So we got that approval. We are planning it and very excited about it. We've got performances on 2 stages. Main stage is going to be in the field outside of the park, and then a smaller stage is going to be on the baseball field inside the park.
How did you get involved with this?
I actually got involved after having conversations with Shanna Carcom, who's a development manager for housing and community development, which is different from the Housing Authority, by the way. We'll talk about that at some point. We were actually talking about the Laney Walker Market, farmers market.
Not to cut you up, but Laney Walker is another place that I feel like could have more on there, but keep going.
Yeah, we were... And this effort is part of many other efforts to really shine the light, shine a spotlight on the Laney Walker area, Laney Walker Bethlehem area. So we'll have an educational component. The Corey Rogers from the Laney Museum, who has studied that area and taught about the area extensively, we'll have some information about, we'll share some information about some of the legends who have come from that.
He's a historian, Corey Rogers. Is he from Savannah?
No, he's from here.
Okay, now you gave me a number to somebody. I think it was Corey Rogers, though. I want to say it was him because he reached out to me last year. Supposed to get up, but I don't think we could do it in time. But I definitely want to speak to somebody who has like a lot of knowledge of history in Augusta, just to shoot and talk, just about history.
Yeah,
Black history, hopefully, but history nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh, he's your guy.
I've been trying to get him to be my guy for a long time, man. But now I brought him up once again,
Okay, I got
tag
you.
him and
I'm gonna write down a list.
Write this down. I'm writing a list too. I'm gonna just name drop. I'm just posting videos of the name droppers. 2841. Gotcha.
There it is. That's right.
Corey
Rogers. We gotta get several folks up here. I'm really hoping that that Shanna and Hawthorne can come and talk.
Just tell them I don't bite. I'm just asking questions that people want to know.
Yeah. I'll tell them that.
I know I'm not the nicest person, but I'm not mean. Like it's all good. I ain't trying to embarrass nobody.
But so you mentioned talking about downtown earlier, and when you were talking about the pictures, the historical photos that you've seen of downtown, what is just as interesting as those pictures of downtown in that area, in that era, whether that was the early to mid 1900s, are those photos that you would see of Laney Walker Bethlehem in that same time period. So
I never saw them. That'd be nice to see though.
Yeah.
I love to have photos in here. Like, imagine that Motor Master have a photo of downtown or Laney Bethel walking behind. You know,
Yeah.
I got these white guys back there. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
why? Yeah.
Oh yeah, these guys gotta go.
See,
Yeah, they gotta
Tony Montana. You know,
go. I see. Yeah.
Godfather, Tony Soprano.
We need
know?
to get some black people on the walls, like dude said in "Do the Right Thing."
Yeah, there we go. Come
Okay,
on, Sal.
right?
I got Sal back there.
Right? Exactly. You need to get some photos.
I'm gonna do the right thing. Don't worry about it.
There you go. At the Lenox Theater, Armstrong Galleria, and all those places. So I'm gonna go back to what I said about the previous commissioner not really showing downtown, the Central Business District, any love. Whereas he didn't do that, and I had our issue with that. What he did do was he put a lot of time and energy into Laney Walker and to Payne College. So, like when he was running for office, when Fenoy was running for office, we talked. He came downtown. You know, we do. You know, when you're running for office, you got to talk to everybody.
Gotta work.
Right, you gotta do that. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this for downtown businesses and do this, that, and the other thing." And then once he got elected, I didn't see him no more. But one thing now, the one thing that he was very clear about now, he was very clear that his priority was Laney Walker. And so I'm like, I can't be mad at. Now I can be mad about the whole Broad Street thing, but he said what he was gonna do, and he did it. So I can't be mad at that. He did a lot of work because he graduated from Payne. He's a Payne alum. He did a lot of work in support of Payne College, in support of Laney Walker Bethlehem. So I give him mad props for that. Even though I ain't never see him on Broad Street though.
Yeah, I can tell you this. He won't get this far into the podcast. So I don't know what that was, but shout out to him for doing what he did do and for graduating. That's a big feature. I'm pretty sure his parents are proud of him, but I don't think he's gonna get this far into the pod. Once you say about the whole studio not answering the phone thing, he's done. He stopped listening at that point. He's not trying to hear that. He's finished.
But I saw him.
He might not get that far.
I saw him last week. It's crazy. I saw him in South Augusta. Yeah.
Oh,
I talked to him. He answered my phone now. He ain't in office.
Yeah, he ain't in office no more. Yeah,
but,
no pressure now.
But I talked to him a couple times. Like I talked to him early last week, and then I saw him.
How long was he in office? From
8 years.
So the whole time of
he served 2 terms. He's term limited to 2, but he served his first term and he got reelected.
So the whole in progress era was kind of.
Yeah, but I got my like Alderman Davis, I got my very definite opinions about that, but I can't say that he didn't do nothing. Now he did a lot of work, and just like I said earlier about like downtown, like parts of downtown being neglected. It wasn't just on his watch.
Well, yeah, it's 2. You said it was 2.
He was just there for yeah. It was.
So it's not even just the guy Foreign, whatever his name is. Foreign,
right. It wasn't just for Noah. It was Marion Williams as well.
Marion Williams. He's still in office.
They came out. They entered. I
remember him.
And they came out
remember
at the
that
same
name.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that name. He's a wild guy.
Yeah. I talked to him recently. Matter of fact,
I remember him talking about the sagging pants ordinance. I remember they thought that was a thing they were going to push. Downtown got vacant buildings, but we brought sagging pants. I got you. Just funny stuff like that just gets me every time.
I gotta tell you though, a lot of times that is strategic in nature. Sometimes it's a smoke screen.
Yeah, I see a lot of smoke screen. Let's bring James right in here. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Politics is a bunch of smoke screen, you know. What's that movie? Now You See Me? Now You See Me? That's politics. That's politics right there. Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah.
You know? But that's it's cool. Like I would like to have more conversation like this with people, not about you're not come promote nothing necessarily speaking, but just to talk openly about stuff in the city. I think is amazing. Obviously, when you in office, it's hard for you to talk about certain things because you just can't say certain things, whatever. But I would like to have that be a segment. And if I couldn't do it here, and I always talk about this, if I couldn't do it here, doing it on the UPW, all that, it don't matter to me. Like, I just want to be able to do it, you know?
Yeah.
If they feel like that's safe territory, then that's
yeah,
what it is. So.
yeah. There's I mean, a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the conversations that I feel like need to be had. I think the folks who are in office now, I think maybe the issue is that they're not bringing years and years of, I hate to say baggage, but maybe that's what it is. They're not bringing, they're not coming into it with like, okay, I have an agenda,
right?
And I gotta make up for. I mean, sometimes a lot of it is that
politics is definitely agenda, but they're not bringing it with them.
Yeah,
so.
Right. Some of it is just like, I want to do the best. I want to do what's best for the city. I want us all to win. But sometimes it is like, I'm going to run. I'm going to get in this seat because there's something that's foul, and I need to fix it. And for as you know, and that's one of the things I'm almost certain I can't prove anything, but I believe that when Fenoy went into office, I believe that he was looking to right a lot of the wrongs that had been going unchecked for years. So like when he you know, when he was like, I'm gonna be over here. You looking for me? You know where to find me.
In my office.
I'm over here in Laney Walker because that's what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
So, you know, because nobody else wasn't doing it.
Hey, I mean, more power to him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, he's not getting this far. So I know you want to give him some credit. Maybe I put this clip out first, so he just watch the whole thing. Put the good clip out first. You know, shout out to Fenoy. You know, he did a good job. Paying, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Payne
right.
on 3, 1 to 3 Payne.
That's right. Yeah. Because I think, I mean, like when Payne started going through that stuff with the monies, you know, the same kinds of problems that all HBCUs are dealing with to some degree. Because I graduated from AU, so I wasn't really.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I graduated, believe it or not.
Yeah?
Sure did.
Oh, that's right. Criminal justice, right?
Yeah. Didn't use it not one bit.
That's all right.
Might run for office.
You should.
And stand on Laney Walker.
Right, exactly.
2 terms.
There you go.
Well, I mean, ask you real quick. I want to make sure I get that for the camera cut off too. Yeah. Like for people, and I want to have somebody on here just to really speak on it fluently. But like, where do people go to? Because you mentioned about having the town halls and they're doing it. How do they access that and get to go to those things? Where do they find information at? Like where can they find where the town hall or how to ask these questions to the commissioner? Where is it located? What time? Beforehand, how do they find out? To pre-plan for that.
I think the easiest, because each of the commissioners they kind of do their own thing, so you
That's
have
problem
to like,
number 1 right there.
Yeah, I think you just have to like follow the commissioners. We with UPW, we try to share as much of that information. One easy thing to do, although it's kind of hit or miss, is to subscribe to the city's YouTube channel. Subscribe.
YouTube.
Notifications. All the public meetings are broadcast to YouTube.
But the commissioner, don't they have their own thing? They have like say you over, like say Jordan Johnson, he don't have his own for just that people that live in that area.
He has
like weekly.
He has those things. No,
that's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's never been a thing. Oh, I'm tripping. So the only one we see is on YouTube. That long drawn out one. I'm not watching that.
Right.
You sent me link one time and the shit was 3 hours. There was no way I'm watching it. I'm sorry. Like I love the city, but I'm not going. And there was a lot of like nonsense that was being said.
Oh, you know what? I got you. I tell you who you need to follow. Janice Allen Jackson. She's got a podcast, Local Matters.
Okay.
And she talks to a lot of folks in government and in leadership. And she's the former city administrator.
Okay, well, just get her in contact. Do you know that group thing you be doing sometime where you add me in a group message?
Yeah.
Just do that. You don't need my permission. You never have it anyway. So just go ahead and add me and we can talk from there because that's somebody I want to have on to talk to her or go on hers, but either way. But yeah, I need that information because I know you said they do their own thing, but that's like problem one of why we can't find it. Because if one person doing it this way and another person doing it that way, I can't tell my friend because we got different commissioners. Oh, on Tuesday I watch it.
Yeah.
Then on Tuesday she's trying to watch it and like, oh, hers is Thursday because that guy doing his own thing.
Right.
Hers, you know.
I think that so when Sias was in office, he did second Saturday every month consistently. Bobby Williams does fifth. No, not fifth.
Fifth. Oh, he trying not to do nothing.
Not
He ain't doing no work. Fifth.
No,
Fifth Saturday.
No.
Oh boy.
He does.
Come on, Bobby.
No,
Give me a bad rep.
He does. He's the district. He's the fifth district. He does a quarterly thing along with the school board rep. So
and I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but how can you get the information to where like you can give, UPW can have a post, this one post every week where this is what's going down for like that. Is that possible? I know you got a lot on your plate because you go to every event. You out there at the fish fry every week on Peachtree Road. You at this event, that event. I see you taking selfies. You're the selfie queen. You said somebody wanted selfie smoke the other day.
That was Joe Ray Jenkins.
Yeah, you was going crazy. So like, how is it possible for you to do that? I think that'd be a good thing for people like us.
I really want somebody to do that. I don't want to be the person to do that because
I've been trying, but they don't answer my calls. I don't know. I don't have the connection you have.
I think there needs to be just a consistent, and maybe Alvin Mason will do that. Maybe Commissioner Mason will do that because. You don't. So when Jordan does a thing, like when he does a town hall, when any of the commissioners do these town halls, the other commissioners, everybody's invited to come. So it's not just for their district. You can come from district whatever and ask a question about it because they're all, even though they represent this right here, this is in District 4, even though we're right here. But they all in the meetings together. They all share responsibility.
So I'm cool with that.
But
So they don't wake up and say. So they wake up not knowing that today I'm doing a town hall. Like they wake up that day, or they know ahead of time. Like do they know?
Oh yeah, they know. They know.
So they just can't post it. They can't just say it. So like somebody know to come.
They do.
Oh, okay. Like on their personal page though.
Yeah, because it's not a.
It can't be like one page like a Facebook. Like, hey, this is Augusta's city council page. They have a city council page for Augusta, like for all commissioners. So like everything commissioner based.
I don't think so.
That is crazy as hell. That's wild to me that they don't have that. Like I have to be friends with Jordan Johnson to know he's doing that. I'm friends with him on Facebook though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's wild. Like why wouldn't it be a regular page where anybody can know?
The city.
The Jared Report got their own thing. You know, the all the crime pages got their. Why wouldn't I don't understand why they behind. Like why are they behind?
That's a good question.
So I can see if I got locked up, but I can't see if you have a town hall meeting today. That's crazy.
The city has a new public information officer. So maybe that's something that
group text. I need all group text tomorrow. Just if I don't answer, I'm busy. But I'm a
you gonna be
five max though, please, Miss Karen. 5 max because I'm horrible at texting anyway. So
you know, my family we got 3 separate. Actually, my siblings and my mother we have 3 separate group text chats going. That's okay. I got you.
All right. Well, yeah, this was a good conversation. I liked it. It was very entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I think people are gonna like it. If you care about Augusta, you'll definitely love the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm down to do more of these. We should do more of these. We should do these like quarterly. We should do like quarterly joints where like you just come on, we just talk for 2 hours for like whatever.
I love it. I'm with it. Let's see. We coming up to election season too. Man, it's gonna be interesting.
Just make sure you take all the anger thoughts and just write me your phone first so you don't get anybody done shot they don't need. I don't get a call saying, hey man, how you doing? Take that down for me, please. I got a gig. I gotta work the room next week. So
yeah, man. I'm gonna chill.
And you should definitely look into trying to have a seminar or something for artists because I think how you work your structure, your deals and your gigs and stuff, they can definitely take a note from that somehow, some way. If it is about not necessarily getting paid, but getting paid in the back end somehow, some way based on who's gonna be in the room. I don't think artists know to do that yet. I don't think they've experienced asking who all gonna be there. I think sometimes they get so caught up with the actual offer of, hey, this person coming in town, won't you open up for them?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool, but give me $500.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, okay, cool again.
Yeah.
But after talking to Karen, they're like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
I'll do it for free.
Right.
If Boosie's gonna be in the room, I can talk to Boosie.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not about
man,
to.
I just had a flashback to that whole Jay-Z thing. The dinner with Jay-Z.
The
dinner with Jay-Z conversation.
I'm not paying for no dinner. I don't know what Kobe got going on. I love Kobe to death, but he's out of a rabbit ass mind. He think I'm about to pay whole. You know, like, and I seen a video the other day, and this little girl asking Jay-Z some questions. It was like 30 seconds, and she asked him how he was successful. He was like, believe in yourself, be confident. She asked him something else. He said, yeah, just talk to the right people. And it was like 30 seconds, and they were like, dinner with Jay-Z in 30 seconds. Like, there you go. That's all he's gonna tell you. He not giving you no game, no free answer. He ain't saying, well, go through that door, make a left, jump over that, wear this shirt.
Right.
No, it's be confident. The same, everything we know already.
Same thing.
I'm not paying for that. If I have dinner with him, he must want me there. That's it. I'm not paying him.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Give me my $1 million.
Exactly.
I'll go buy an album. He's been saying it for years.
Right. Exactly.
But Kobe he has to do that because he wants to. You know what? You know how you said work the room. That's him working the room right there. That's a smoke. That's a smoking. What you said smoking. What you said?
A smoking mirror.
Yeah, that's a smoking mirror because he don't believe that either. I'm gonna tell you right, he don't believe that either. But if he say that, somebody out in that world gonna say, you know what? That's a great thinker. Let me hire him to talk to these students because that's innovative.
But you know what? I think Kobe believes that because he would know how to work that room. See, if you going to have dinner with Jay-Z, I don't know how I know how we did this because I brought it up. If you going to if you say I'm going to have dinner with Jay-Z, okay, you're gonna sit there, you just gonna eat. That's it, right? Mm-hmm. No, if Kobe he going there with a purpose. So I believe it. He will be like, okay, tell me how this happened, and then he gonna be like, okay, this is my ask. You show up with what you want to get out of the thing, so you get that. But if you just going to just sit down.
I mean, the idea that is, I'm telling you, I believe it. I heard it all. The idea that is amazing. It's amazing. Please hand me my $1 million, $500K, $100K, $50K. I don't care. I'm not doing it. And I get it. Kobe might work the room.
Yeah.
I'll work the $1 million.
Yeah, right.
I'll take my chances
Exactly. I mean, I'm like.
And I get what he's saying. Oh, you never had $1 million before. Neither have he. So we both be in the same plane level, okay? So it don't matter. Right. I'll take my chances though.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm 50-some years old. I should know what to do with $1 million by now. I should know by now. Now, if I was 20, it'd be a whole different.
I can say, I want to do at dinner. I'm like, oh, do I sneeze? Do I say hi? Do I ask him this? Like, do I ask for the contact? Your black book. Remember, 90s they had a black book. Yeah. I don't know what I asked you for.
Your Rolodex.
I don't know. Like, do I start rapping his songs? Like, like, do I just rap some Jay-Z bars? Do I tell him I like him better than Nas? It's nothing you can give me the $1 million. That's more comfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I go from there.
Yeah.
And if I don't flip it, I don't flip it. But I had $1 million. I'm good.
I got it.
I'll be comfortable. Trust me.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But shout out to Kobe, man. Shout out to Kobe, man.
Kobe's a man.
But I appreciate your time. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.
You gotta do this more often.
Definitely. I'm excited.
All right, man. Morning Masters Podcast. We out.